Everyone's talking about the big named rookie running backs for Dynasty like Ashton Jeanty and Omari and Hampton, but it's the guys flying under the radar that can actually win you a league. Today I'm breaking down 5 sleeper rookie running backs that I think are absolute hidden gems in Dynasty fantasy football. These guys aren't just lottery tickets. These are players that have real paths to playing time and might even have some long-term value. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
Hey.
All right, guys, kicking things off at number 5, we have Jordan James for the San Francisco 49ers. If you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you know I love Jordan James. I was super high on him pre-draft, and I was hoping that he'd land late day 2, somewhere in there in the 4th round or so. And unfortunately, he goes early day 3 to the San Francisco 49ers. And let's be honest, he has a great skill set for this Kyle Shanahan offense. He came out of Oregon. I loved what he put on film. I watched a ton of him and was just super impressed with what he could do. You look at his workout metrics, nothing crazy there, right? Average athlete when it comes to overall speed, I will say that, but the thing that sets him apart, in my opinion, is his burst. He's got pretty solid vision, great burst. He gets up to full speed very quickly, kind of reminds me of Bucky Irving in that regard. Although he's not as shifty as Bucky Irving, he does have a nasty stiff arm. I mean nasty. And he's just a really smart player. He hasn't fumbled one time this past season. He never got tackled for a loss. I watched probably 10 games of him last year. I didn't see him get tackled for loss one single time. He doesn't fumble the football. He's fairly durable as well. So, I mean, he's got, less than 30 BMI, which is what we look for in a workhorse running back. But 5'10", 205 is solid size. Now, let's talk about the 49ers. Obviously, CMC is the true workhorse in this running back room, but obviously he has a ton of durability concerns, and he's not long for the NFL, I don't think. I wouldn't be surprised if CMC is out the door by the end of 2026. Now you got a guy in Isaac Guerendo who's behind him, kind of a smaller, shiftier running back that has a ton of durability concerns as well. I'm not going to say this outright, but Jordan James is probably the most healthy back in this running back room as of right now. I know he broke a finger or dislocated a finger. I don't think that's necessarily a big deal, and I think he will be ready week 1. I'm just saying, guys, he's available in a lot of leagues. I would try to pick him up if you can, and look at him on Keep Trade Cut. He's the RB 64. He's way down there. He's only 21 years old. He's got a ton of upside, guys. A ton of upside. So if you can pick this guy up, 1 or 2 injuries, this guy is going to be seeing 25 to 30 carries, and I think he really excels in that type of system. Kyle Manunga is up next for the Chicago Bears, the 7th round pick out of Rutgers. And guys, you look at the workout metrics, those look kind of rough, I'm not going to lie, but Kyle Manunga is a 5'8", 211-pound bowling ball. That is what he is. He's not going to wow you with speed or explosiveness or anything like that, but he is a menace in the short game, 3rd and short, things like that. Goal line back, he's extremely good at that as well. You look at his Rutgers stats, he is a menace at finding the end zone. Now, the Chicago Bears picked him for a very particular reason in the 7th round, and that is because Kyle Manunga is towards the top of this class with Travion Henderson in his pass protection. He was phenomenal at Rutgers last year at making sure the quarterback was not sacked. He can stay in there and block edge rushers, chip them. He can block linebackers one-on-one in the hole if he needs to. Very impressive stuff. That's why he's going to be making this 53-man roster. He's got a lot of interesting skill sets. You look at Keep Trade Cut, he's the RB 64. He's 23 years old, like I said. He's not getting a lot of buzz. He's not. He's got a great BMI for a workhorse running back. And yes, I know DeAndre Swift is going to be the RB1 in this Chicago Bears offense, but Ben Johnson has already ran him out of town once in Detroit. I don't think he's thrilled with having DeAndre Swift at his RB1 right now, and I think he's going to be off the team sooner rather than later. And with Kyle Manunga, I know he's competing with Roschon Johnson. I like Kyle Manunga's skill set a lot more than Roschon. He's been very underwhelming throughout his NFL career outside of the pass protection back. So Kyle Manunga, big sleeper. You guys need to check him out. He had a great week 1 showing in the preseason. I know that doesn't matter too much, but it is some positive things that we're seeing. So pick up Kyle Manunga if he's available in your leagues. So we have Taj Brooks here for the Cincinnati Bengals. He was picked in the 6th round. And guys, just go look at what he did at Texas Tech last year. He was amazing. He didn't have a single game under 100 rushing yards, and he scored in all but 1 game last year. He had a ton of production. Let's see if we can see what he did last year. 1,500 rushing yards, 18 touchdowns, and he also caught the ball 28 times, which is rather impressive for a back with his skill set. Now, if you watched him in the Bengals preseason game, he didn't look that great. He just didn't. I think he averaged like 2.5 yards a carry. It wasn't a great showing from the Bengals offense, I'm not going to lie. Chase Brown's firmly ahead of him, but they released Zach Moss. So basically the only people on this Cincinnati Bengals roster at running back is Chase Brown and Taj Brooks. That's it. And at 5'9", 214 pounds, I think he's going to be another short yardage goal line back. And, those only offer us so much value, but one injury, he's a phenomenal handcuff, right? Because this offense is pass heavy, right? But that opens up the run games significantly. So you look at his workout metrics, great agility, and he shows that on film all the time. He's got some sweet feet, and he can really navigate the holes very, very well. I love Taj Brooks' skill set. And, you look at him on Keep Trade Cut, he's valued fairly highly as well. RB 58, but he's still way down there in terms of value. So, guys, Taj Brooks, man, he's a big-time sleeper in an offense that doesn't really value running backs all that much, but all it takes is one Chase Brown injury, and Taj Brooks is going to be eating for us in fantasy football. Taj Brooks, I love what he brings to the table. You guys have to pick him up if he's not already rostered. Also, if you can throw a 3rd-round pick for any of these rookies, I think that's a steal as well. All right, I've talked about this guy a decent amount. It's Ollie Gordon II for the Miami Dolphins. You look at the height and the weight, 6'1", 226 pounds. He is a monster. You look at the workout metrics, nothing too great there. His speed score is decent, 4.61. I thought he might run a little bit slower than that, so he had a decent showing at the combine all in all. And the Miami Dolphins, they needed a goal line back. They had Alexander Madison, but if you guys didn't see the news, he has a season-ending neck injury, unfortunately, and they needed some guy that's going to be able to punch the ball into the end zone, and Achane is just too small to reliably do that. They needed a guy that was going to replace Raheem Mostert back when he was getting a ton of touchdowns back in 2023, and they drafted Ollie Gordon because they saw the potential. You look at his 2023 stats at Oklahoma State, guys, he was the best running back in college football in 2023. I mean, he was phenomenal. The team kind of fell apart in 2024. They didn't win a single game in their division, unfortunately, and they were always playing from behind, so unfortunately, Ollie Gordon didn't get that many carries last year. He still got a ton of touchdowns. I want to say he had 13 or 14 touchdowns last year. Didn't eclipse 1,000 yards. So he fell considerably in the draft. Some people were thinking he was going to be a 1st, 2nd round pick after his breakout sophomore season. But unfortunately, that just didn't happen. But with Ollie Gordon, he had a phenomenal game in the preseason week 1. I'm excited to see what he does in the next few weeks in the preseason. But with Madison being injured, Jalen Wright is, another speed back. He's not too good on the goal line either. I think Ollie Gordon firmly is going to be the pass pro back. He's going to be similarly to how Kyle Manunga, I think, is going to be utilized. Except I think Ollie Gordon's even better than Kyle Manunga because he has better production in college, and he is just much better he's just bigger. He's just much bigger at just getting into the end zone. He's can jump over people. He's a fairly great athlete on the football field, and he's considerably younger. He's 21 years old. You look at Keep Trade Cut, he's ranked below Kyle Manunga at the RB 67, even though he's younger, and he was picked a whole round ahead. Now, I will say, with Ollie Gordon, he's playing in front of a much better back in Devon Achane, but he's shown that he's not the most healthiest of backs. He's undersized. He does have some slight durability concerns. Ollie Gordon does not have durability concerns. I'm telling you guys, Ollie Gordon, he can catch the ball in the backfield as well. You saw that long catch from Ollie Gordon. He can break tackles. He's looking great in camp as well. Ollie Gordon is a guy that people need to pick up because he is fantastic, and I think he's going to have a role very, very quickly in this Miami Dolphins offense. Last but certainly not least, this is one of my biggest sleepers in the entire class in terms of the running back position. It's Kroski Merritt for the Washington Commanders. And if you look at his workout metrics, I'll tell you exactly why I love this kid. You see the 95th percentile burst score? He has insane burst, guys. Insane. I mean, he gets to top speed pretty much instantaneously, has some really great elusiveness, can make guys miss in the open field. Obviously, his top speed's nothing crazy at a 4.52. These aren't his combine metrics because I don't think he got an invite to the combine. And there's a reason why he fell to almost being undrafted. He was one of the last picks in the 7th round. And at Arizona, he only got to play one game. Now, I will say it was over 100 yards and a touchdown on like 12 carries versus New Mexico in his one showing, but he had some eligibility issues. There was a controversy about somebody wearing his jersey in one of his redshirt seasons, and they just said you can't play anymore. So he only had one game of production at Arizona, and that's why he fell. But if you go back to his New Mexico season in 2023, he had a phenomenal year. I mean, he looked fantastic, obviously versus lower level competition. But man, you look at the Washington Commanders running back room, you got Brian Robinson Jr., who for 3 straight seasons hasn't been able to crack 800 yards due to him either being hurt or just being overall underwhelming. He's a big back, right? He can get into the end zone. He's a powerful runner. But Kroski Merritt, he just has more of your skill set to be a 2-down plotter, an early down back, because he's got the burst and the acceleration to get it done. And if you go to Keep Trade Cut, he's the RB 57. So he is getting a little bit of buzz right now, and he is an older prospect at 24. But guys, age for running backs isn't nearly as important as it is for wide receivers, because wide receivers play a lot longer than running backs. You're lucky to get 4 years out of your running backs nowadays. I mean, you're lucky if they get past their rookie contract. I mean, it just is what it is, guys. But with Kroski Merritt, if you've heard anybody talk about him, he should not be available in your leagues. But if you can throw a 3rd round pick at him and just be like, hey, can I get this guy? And you can get him for a 3rd, I think he's going to be the RB1. He's got the best chance of any of these day 3 backs to be the RB1 in their own respective offenses. Kroski Merritt is a stud, and you should be picking him up if you can. That's my list of 5 sleeper rookie running backs you should have on your radar for Dynasty. Whether you're stashing them on your bench or targeting them in trades, these guys could pay off big when everyone else is sleeping. If you've enjoyed the breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more Dynasty content, and drop your favorite sleeper running back in the comments below. Thank you guys as always for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.
Hey.